and Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao. Curry way down top. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Welcome back to the BSPN Radio Show. We're having some technical difficulties. We don't know if our mic is picking up yet, so we're trying to get that figured out. The mic is picking up, cool. We have no headphones working, so we're going to do without that. But welcome back to the BSPN Radio Show. I'm here with
Max,
and we've had a decently interesting week in sports. There are no more undefeated teams in the NFL. The NBA has suddenly gone back to 2010 as the Lakers and Celtics lead the league in terms of record. And other than that, I mean, we've had some interesting stuff happen.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Let's just look over standings. In the Eastern Conference, you have the Boston Celtics standing at 1 with an 8-1 record. Then they're followed by the Heat, the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Raptors, who are all 7-3. And then at 6, you got the Indiana Pacers, who are 7-4. And then there's a huge drop-off in terms of record with the Charlotte Hornets, the Cleveland Cavs, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Brooklyn Nets, 7 through 10, all at 4-6. Then you got the Bulls and the Pistons, 4-7, 4-8. And then you got the Magic, 3-7, the Wizards, 2-6. And then the Knicks, 2-9.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll talk about them later.
We'll talk about the Knicks. But what we can see in the Eastern Conference is a real steep drop-off, which is what everyone expected. Mm-hmm. Those essentially 7 and 8 spots are just entirely up for grabs. I said the Cavs were a team to watch before the season started. Yeah. And honestly, I felt like an idiot after saying it because why the hell would the Cavs be good? But part of me just knew. And look, the Cavs are looking pretty decent. Not looking great.
Not looking great. They're in the playoff picture as of now. They're 4-6. So...
And you know what else they did?
What they did?
They blew out the Knicks and caused one of the strangest things I've ever seen in sports. Probably not with Knicks stuff, though. The random press conference after the game ended is not something that ever happens. Yeah. And it just... They did that, and it apparently there's a lot of changes coming to the Knicks organization, which could be a great thing. Yeah,
but you know the Knicks are absolutely no stranger to having front office changes and having their organization name in the media for less than good things. We see. I think this time, though, it's good that we don't see anything to do with any of the players.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like, this is going to be what?
It's not player-based.
No, it isn't player-based for one of the first time. But this is going to be what? I think this is going to be the 4th year with 4 head coaches. I mean, you got Rambis, you got Fisher, you got Hornacek, and then you have...
And then you have Fizdale. But Fizz has been around for, like, at most, a year and a half.
Yeah. So, like, there's... The continuity is lacking in the Knicks, but we'll get to them later.
Moving on to the West.
On to the West. You have the Lakers, number 1, sitting at 8-2. Then you have the Jazz at 8-3.
The Rockets, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the Mavs follow up at 3-6. Then you have the Suns and T-Wolves still overperforming at 7 and 8. Mm-hmm. Then the Spurs, followed by the Kings, who have bounced back. Then the Blazers, who are just more and more disappointing by the day. Yeah. The Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and then all the way at the bottom, the Warriors. I think those last 3 seeds, at the start of the season, 2 of them would have made sense, and the Warriors would not have been there.
No, definitely. And honestly, before the Zion thing, no one expected... Just... the Golden State Warriors being 15 is...
Insane.
So, I mean, I guess the only thing the Knicks can hang their hat on now is that they are the same seeding as the Golden State Warriors. Yeah. So, if you tell anyone who got into a coma in 2015 and just came out of them, they would be impressed.
The Knicks have the same record as the Warriors, 11 games into the season.
Yep. Wow.
Too bad it's a winning percentage of under 20%.
Yeah, Jesus. let's see. So I guess we'll go to news. We got a lot of injuries / injury updates.
Also, the first snow has fallen here at Bennington, which means that Trae Young, Ice Trae, absolutely had to show out.
Ice Trae the gang.
Yeah.
But on to injuries. You have Eric Gordon out for 6 weeks with right knee surgery.
Yeah.
You have Gordon Hayward out 6 weeks with hand surgery. Stephen Curry, we knew about the hand for 3 months.
Well, the hand is now for most of the season, apparently.
Yeah.
It got aggravated or something.
Paul George is going to make his return this week, which is going to be
huge.
I mean, the Clippers are already, what we just said.
5 seed, I think, 4 seed. But even then, they're in the mix of things, and the only reason they're that low is because, 4 seed, there we go.
Yeah.
The only reason they're that low is because they've had 3 really strange games that they lost.
Yeah.
Like, they looked very, Kawhi didn't have the greatest game against the Raptors, but they looked great as a team.
I saw that. So I was reading an article about that game, and I didn't watch the game. I didn't know anything about it. So I was reading the article. I was like, oh, that sucks. But then his stat line was 12, 11, and 9.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not what you expect from Kawhi Leonard, though.
But it's like, I think it speaks to the talent and the reputation that Kawhi Leonard has garnered.
Yeah.
Because this is the same thing people were saying about LeBron James last season. They were looking at a 28-8-8 season and saying he was underperforming.
Yeah.
Which 12, 11, and 9 is really, really good.
Yeah.
So I just think it's interesting how people are saying he's underperforming. They still got the win. It was a weird game for Kawhi. But
the Nuggets could legitimately be 5-5 right now. Jokic has failed them out with 2 crazy game winners.
Yep.
Both of which kind of look like they shouldn't have gone in.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was against the Wolves, which made me real mad because Wiggins and Cat just played great that game.
Yeah.
Like, before I go into Wiggins and Cat being great, let's get some other topics. Like
before we go into the Knicks and the Wolves, because we'll be talking about that the whole entire time.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I guess I don't know if anyone can hear this, but hopefully we're recording at least.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just go to Yeah, so we had last night, I believe. Last night we had Trae Young putting up 42 points. Huge.
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah, he went off. DeAndre Jordan had 17 rebounds. But Joel Embiid showed out in that game.
Before we move on, DeAndre Jordan having a lot of rebounds, I don't care. The Nets defense has plummeted to like 28th.
Okay.
Defensive rating, they're giving up like 125 points a game. In terms of rebounding percentage, they're high, but in terms of everything else, they're just failing.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's exactly what I said would happen with DeAndre Jordan. I said that signing was useless. In preseason, he looked good, but at the same time, all of it was empty.
Yeah.
Like you're playing a 15-man rotation in the preseason, so I just don't believe it. And DeAndre Jordan has defensively been among the worst players in the league for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why why fans are saying, look at this, he's doing so great, the Nets are stacked, when they've been kind of horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Nets have been underperforming a little bit. I just want to look at them.